kind of was the first guy to really take me under his wing. I was about 11, and Danny had this really cool thing about him where he would, he had this real nonchalance about him. He was a very unassuming guy. He was like my guitar teacher, So he listened to me play. He goes like, "Son, you know something about the blues, but you don't know anything about jazz. You don't know anything about early rock and roll. Like, I'm talking about like Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps, and the Big Bopper and Elvis Presley and stuff like that." So I'd sit in his Winnebago, the nights that I would sit in with him, and Spike is about to feedback. And it was like he would show me this stuff that would go. So like it'd be like the riff of the week club, I'd see him on the weekends in DC and stuff like that. So he's like, how about this, kid? And he goes. I go back on my cassette tape and I'm like, wicked. I go home and I practice and practice and practice. I got the riff. Come back the next week, he goes, okay. Okay. Then I think I made him mad one day. Because I was like, I was like at that point in time, I was probably the most balanced kid in show business because I had chips on both shoulders, And he goes, ah. My double stops are bad. I've literally 9 shows in 11 days I wore my nails off, so I'm a little sloppy today. I don't charge for the mistakes. So I was like, I'm going to do that. I worked and 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 worked, and I... until I had it. So that was my relationship with Danny Gatton. Then he would let me sit in with him at the place he was playing, and that was like he was like my guitar teacher. But he was just my friend Danny, and you never really, you don't realize how lucky I was. I didn't realize how lucky I was until ultimately, he was dead and gone, and I miss him a lot because, there's been several people in my life that have been really super influential. I mean, one guy, Danny Gatton, I just mentioned, another guy's named Tom Dow. And Tom, for those who don't know him, he was one of the founding members of Atlantic Records, produced everything from Otis Redding Blue to every Allman Brothers record to Disraeli Gears and all that kind of stuff. Layla. How do you feel Layla? So, those kind of guys were really instrumental in my life. And then, but that's how I kind of went from mono, just playing like basic, to like putting all this, mono to stereo, and I have Danny Gatton to really thank for that, and that's really, the basis of my training, and I've just kind of always kept this thing in my mind, going, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm never satisfied for what I am, I'm never satisfied for how I play, especially on this afternoon, I'm like, good Lord, and it's, you just try to do your best every day, and you give what you have, and people will respond to that. So those are the things I took from working with guys like Danny Gatton. About a year after that, when I was 12, freaked me out. I met you 5 years ago. 5 years ago? 9. When I was 12, I met a guy named B.B. King. So I started playing professionally when I was 12. There's only so many papers I was willing to deliver to make some money, so I figured I had to diversify my income stream and started playing some shows, and that was pretty much it. And the deal I made with my mom was I could only work on Fridays and Saturdays, and I had to maintain a B+ average. Okay. So we did some shows, and my grandfather would collect money at the door, and it was like a certainly mom and pop business. I mean, because mom was the booker and dad was the road manager, and that was the whole show. So we get a call one day about a show in Rochester, New York, opening up for B.B. King at the thing called the Lilac Festival, which was a big deal for Rochester people. And it was very much like this. I do a bad impression of my mother when I tell this story. I see her writing something down on a piece of paper. It says, Joe B., May 24th, B.B. King. Now mind you, Live at the Regal changed my life, didn't it? I mean, it just changed your life. Mm-hmm. So she's like, and Mom is like Marge Simpson, thank you very much. Oh, she uses